Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for The Fosters, Season 2, Episode, Episode 8, I believe. Wait, Episode 7, The Longest Day. And wow, this episode was amazing. I really love this episode. Really made me think about a lot of things. A really dramatic episode. I mean, a lot of stuff was going on this episode. And it really made us think about a few things, and I really do want to talk about it. So, let's first talk about Callie and Jude, because they're basically the main plot. So now that Jude is talking, and Callie wanted Jude to, meet her father, so that way, her father and her sister, and basically she wanted, Jude to do this, so that way, Jude could get to know them a little bit, and Jude's a little skeptical about this. She wanted Jude to get the chance to know Sophia, so he does not feel threatened by the relationship, because Callie kind of feels like, he wishes that she never met Sophia, so that's what, she wants to do that. So she basically wants to make sure that, he has some sort of a relationship with them. So during the trip, they're there, and, Mrs. Quinn is questioning, Mrs. Quinn is very suspicious. We don't know what's going on there. But she keeps questioning Jude about Callie's family situation. Now, Callie spends some time alone with Sophia and Robert shows Callie some old pictures of her mother. And Callie agrees to let him open a college fund for her, because, he does not know if Steph and Lena can give her a really good college education. So I thought that was a good thing. She had some sort of relationship with her dad. She does get a glimpse into Sophia's state of mind as well when they discuss what would have happened if Robert would have stayed with Callie's mom. Now, Callie points out that Jude and Sophia never would have been born, and Sophia wonders if that might have actually been a good thing. Now, I don't know what that's trying to say. What I think she's trying to say there is that she does not like the family she's living with, and I think, she doesn't like it because of her mother or whatever. And, Sophia was being very rude to, her mother, actually. Sophia was being very rude to her, very, just really rude to her mother. She really was. She was being very rude to her mother. Basically what she was doing was, the reason, Robert's wife was so apprehensive, it wasn't, she wasn't the problem. Sophia took it upon herself to impress Callie. She put down her mother, her schooling, and her privileged lifestyle, as if she had to make up for always having had it all while Callie didn't. That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to make it seem like she wasn't as high class as she was, things like that. And I don't know exactly why she did that. She was trying to impress Callie, but I thought that was a little strange. And basically, we do find out that Jill is actually a really nice girl. She seems like a really nice girl. And, it's hard to understand her relationship with Sophia, though, It seems like she's less thrilled, though, that Callie is a part of their lives. Her relationship with Sophia is also very puzzling. And I don't know what the show's really gearing up towards with that, what's going on. All we know is that Sophia does not have a very good relationship with her mother. However, Jude and Robert's wife, they actually have a very good, relationship. Now, basically, Jude thought so as well. Jill and Jude talked, and they actually got off to a pretty, nice conversation and everything. I thought that was a good conversation that they got into, and I definitely enjoyed that. I thought that was really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed that scene. So then, after the whole boat trip, they got back from the boat trip, and at the end of the day, Callie and Jude, they talked about the Quinns, and Jude wishes that Callie never learned about them, but since he cannot change that, he will learn to share Callie with Sophia the way he learned to share her with the Fosters. Now, probably the most surprising part of this episode is the part with Sophia. it doesn't just stop there, because Sophia and Robert are, walking through, walking, and, while they're there, she says, maybe we should, maybe it would be a better idea if Callie came to live with them. That way Callie could learn to love them like a family. Now, there's obviously more to Sophia than meets the eye, pretty much. So, there's something going on with Sophia. For some reason, she wants to, Callie to be part of her family. And, please don't have Callie run away again. Please just don't do this. This would be really stupid. But I'm thinking that, I don't really know where that's going. I don't know where it's going. We'll have to see where that's going. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But I really, as I said, I don't really know where that's going. I guess we're just going to have to see what happens there. But, overall, Callie and Jude's plot I thought was very good. I really enjoyed the main plot with Callie and Jude. I thought it was definitely very strong. Let's go over to, Brandon and Lena and Steph and Mike. This is where all the crazy shit was going down. So, Lena's still recovering from her miscarriage, of course, and she actually comes to realize that Brandon's problem couldn't be, swept under the rug any longer. He couldn't keep hiding it inside of him. He needed to tell someone. Basically, she got him to see that being home with his parents was actually the best option he could. So he did just that. He told Steph exactly what was going on. And, it wasn't a really good decision, because when this happened, Steph and Mike ended up in, a very heated fight. They started fighting, laying blame on each other, rather than, putting their son first, or at least thinking about their son. Now, Mike wanted to know what Brandon meant by having sex, and as for Steph, she was so consumed at seeing her son as the victim that she completely ignored the part she took some responsibility for that night with Danny. She didn't think of Brandon being, the problem. She thought of Danny, being the one that illustrated. Now, this is not true at all. We know that this was all Brandon's idea. Brandon kissed her. Brandon slept with her. I mean, he was drunk, so that's why he did it. But the thing is, really, that it was all Brandon's idea. Now, Steph wants to phrase it. Now, Mike does not really see why it's a bad idea. He doesn't think it's a bad idea. He thinks that, Brandon's 16, he's allowed to make his own choices. Mike doesn't see why it's a bad idea. And he keeps defending Danny. Now, Steph forced the issue that Brandon told her he's going to say his mother made everything up. And Brandon was drunk at the time, and Danny was the adult, but he doesn't see that night as consent getting blurred. Basically, his son, Mike thinks, my son got to have sex with an older and inappropriate woman, and that's all. He doesn't believe in throwing around the word rape, because he strongly doesn't think his son was a victim of it, which is not true. She did not rape him. It was all Brandon's idea. That is until Steph reversed the genders for him, and I thought this was actually very good what she did. She asked, what would it have been if it was Mariana? If Mariana had gotten drunk and slept with an older man, say like a teacher, Mike then admits he would go for the guy's head on a platter, so why is their son any different? He's not any different. Brandon, okay, yes, he is 16, but he can't just keep making his own decisions. It's not that easy. So it's not that easy. There's more to that, and you can't just keep making your own decisions for him. I mean, he can't keep making his own decisions. He does need some guidance. So Mike does go to see Brandon because this pretty much helped. Mike understand what's going on, and Brandon apologized for everything that happened. But Mike does say that Danny was a responsible adult and should have put an end to things before they went too far. And yes, this is true. Danny should have stopped Brandon, from having sex with her. Brandon was drunk at the time. He didn't know what he was doing. Now, it wasn't alleged rape because he was drunk. However, if Brandon was not drunk, he probably would not have done it. So, it should have been put an end before things went too far. And Mike watches as the police do arrest Danny and take Danny into custody. And, Mike was basically the one to, make sure that convinced Brandon to press charges, pretty much. So, yeah, so Danny was arrested, and how do I feel about that? I feel like she did deserve it. I feel like it was good closure to her story. And the really sad thing, though, is that it wasn't all Danny that did it. Brandon was drunk and everything, but the really sad thing is if Danny would have stopped it, none of this would have happened. You know, Mike and Danny could have had a baby. Mike wanted to start a family with her, and now he can't do any of that because he's realizing that he can't even trust her right now. So yeah, it's quite sad that he can't trust her right now, but overall, I thought that was definitely a very good plot. Let's go over to Mariana. Mariana's plot, very, very interesting. I like Mariana in this episode. You know, there are certain episodes where I like Mariana, and then there are those episodes where I dislike Mariana. This episode, I disliked her. I did not like her in this episode. I thought it was not right what she said, and basically... By the way, I love the song that they were dancing to in this episode. I love that song, Burning Gold. That's a great song. But Mariana is under pressure, you know, to perform at the dance team because they don't have enough money for all the team members to attend the competition. So, you know, Mariana's very worried because now that her mom's no longer, you know, vice principal, she needs to step it up a little bit and show them that she's really good. Now, Tia, one of the girls of the team, you know, that Mariana's kind of jealous of, offers to help Mariana with her floor work, but Mariana ends up offending her. She said probably the nastiest thing there she could say. She says, "You're only a good dancer because you're black." And I thought that was really rude what she said. Like, come on, Mariana, be a little bit nicer to her. Now, Mariana does suggest that she could talk to Lena, see about getting the team more money, as Lena's still in charge besides the new principal, because the new principal has not taken over yet. Now, sadly for, sorry guys, I got an itch on my nose. Sadly for Mariana, Lena does refuse to break the rules, even for her daughter, but she does meet up with Tia, and they help each other practice, and, it seems like she wants to become very good friends with her. You know, it seems like they have a very nice relationship, and it's better than Haley. I'll say that. Better than Haley. Haley does not seem like she can be trusted, especially after something she did in this episode. She did reveal, though, to her fellow dance team members about, you know, her fellow dance team members had asked about Mariana and Jesus' birth parents, and Mariana had said it was a closed adoption. And she did admit that Lena was her stepmother, you know, her stepmother, and I thought that was good that she admitted that. She needed to admit it because she just needed to. She had to admit that, and I'm glad that she did admit that to them because that was the right thing to do. And then the last thing that's going on was Jesus. You know, Jesus, I still don't like what he's doing. I don't like that Jesus, you know, even though he broke up with Emma, you know, Emma finds out in this episode what's going on. Jesus has more romantic, you know, woes than everyone else on the show combined. Emma's very angry with him for moving on so quickly after their breakup. And Haley is jealous of the time Jesus spends with Emma via the wrestling team. So Haley takes matters into her own hands. She really wants to be the main focus with Jesus. Jesus is supposed to go to this team dinner award ceremony that night. It's a huge award ceremony when they give out awards, when they give out team captains, that sort of thing. However, Haley decides to take matters into her own hands. What she does is she stops by his house before the dinner, and she's crying, and she tells him that her parents are getting a divorce, and she's crying and claiming that she does not want to be alone, as a way to basically guilt-trip Jesus into missing the dinner. So he decides to do that, and he stays with her. However, later that night, Mariana tells Jesus that Haley has known about her parents' divorce for months. And Jesus finally starts to realize that Haley is playing him. She does not really love him. She basically just wants control. That's what she wants. She wants to control him, and she does not really care about him that much. So, now I'm thinking that he is probably going to go back to Emma. We do find out that Emma did make team captain while this happened, and he feels really stupid now. Definitely he should be kicking himself because he feels really stupid now, and I don't blame him that he feels stupid because it was his idea to do this. Again, Jude. Again, Jude. Hey, again, Jesus. This was your idea to do this. You decided to have two girlfriends at once. You knew it was not going to work out, and it didn't. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this was probably the best episode of the season. I really enjoyed it. It was a very intense episode. I really enjoyed everything that was going on in it. Between, the Callie and Jude stuff. What is going on with Sophia? There's definitely something more going on there. I don't know what else is going on. Do you think that Mike did make the right decision? I definitely think he did. The best thing to do is just arrest Danny, because she could have stopped it and she didn't, and it would have just ended the whole thing. I think he did the right thing there. Mariana, is she going to become very good friends with Tia? I really hope she does, because she definitely seems like a better friend than Haley, and is Jesus going to finally break it off with Haley? I feel like he's going to break it off with Haley and then try to go back to Emma, but it's going to be too late, because Emma's kind of upset that he moved on in the first place, so yeah, I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. But I really love this episode. Let me know what you guys saw of this episode. That's been my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Teen Wolf. So see you guys for that. Okay, bye.